woman, behold your son. And woman seems very cold and indifferent. But in the culture of Jesus, it was a term of endearment. It's like mama. And where did the word mama come from? It's an abbreviation of mademoiselle. He said, woman, my time has not yet come. It shows us that Mary had a timeline and Jesus had a timeline. And Mary's timeline and Jesus's timeline didn't match up. By the way, be careful that you jump out of God's timeline for your life. Because when you do, you will live to regret it. Some of us are so much in a hurry to get married just to say, I got a man, got a woman. We accept all kind of garbage in relationships because we are out of God's timeline. What do you do when your timeline doesn't match up with God's timeline? Let me tell you what Mary did not do. She did not take matters into her own hands. And when your timeline and God's timeline are not in sync, do not take matters into your own hands. The good book says, but they that wait upon the Lord.
See, God needs to get you to the place where you do not question the hand or the move of God in getting you to your final destination. So God says to Abraham, this man of the Chaldees, son of Terah, husband of Sarah, who bears no children, I will bless you and make you a great nation. And you know, my brothers and sisters, many times when God blesses us and chooses to work through us, oftentimes we have so little to offer that it causes him to make something out of us. So God said to Abraham, I will make you. Go back to the text. I will make you. The word make comes from the Old Testament theological word bara, which is a word of creativity. It implies that something being brought into existence when nothing was available. God says, I know you don't have much to work with, but I will make you. I know you have some tendencies and some proclivities, but I will make you. There's some stuff in your life, some stuff in your past that's catching up with your present and may project on your future, but I will make you.
Hear me, Satan, hear me, folks. Satan's ambition is to be God, to overthrow God. And if you don't understand, let me put it where you can get it. His position in heaven was a covering cherub, says Ezekiel 28. You know what a covering cherub? The covering cherub is the position of the angel that stand closest to the Shekinah glory of God. They are so close that they span their wings and form an arch. And under the arch is the very Shekinah glory of God. You can't get closer to God than a covering cherub. Satan occupied that position. Are you with me? When he was Lucifer, that's the position he occupied. And every day he stand next to God, envying God for the position that God has, hoping that he could get the position. But you see, if you try to get God's position, you have a problem, because you can't wait until he's retired. God don't retire, and he doesn't go on sick leave either. He has a huge problem, and he realized he cannot get the position of God. So the only way to get that position is to create war. And the Bible says he did start war in heaven. Is the church with me? Yeah, fighting for the position. He lost it, and God threw him out. He's a deportee. Throw him out on heaven, on earth. The Bible says. Is the church with me? Yeah, and watch me. Don't lose this stuff. When he came to planet Earth, his mission has not changed. He decided, if I can't be God in heaven, I'll be God on earth. Is the church with me? So let me ask you a question. Since he wants to be God, stay with me. How does one become God? That's the question. What is God by definition?
Well, there's no way you can define God without worship. Because as far as they told me, God is anything that you... Are you sure? So if he wants to become God, then what do you think he's looking? Worship. Hey. By the way, hey. I am dead certain about this. How did I know? Well, let me help you with a story. You don't have to go Bible for this one because you should have read it sometime in your lifetime. But if you want, check it out. In Matthew chapter 3, Jesus was in the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. Is the church with me? And the first thing Satan said, if you are the Son of God, bow down and do what? No, you read that stuff, but it didn't come home to you. So let me put it home to you. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Now let me help you with this. Stay with me, church people. To stay with me. Satan went to God to try bribe God to worship him. No, stay with me. If a God is anything you worship, then when the true and living God takes the bribe and worships Satan, then Satan becomes God. It was a huge temptation. If Jesus had ever made the mistake to worship Satan, all of us would have been in trouble. So here's where I'm going. Oh God, help me in the church here tonight. If Satan can have the audacity to try and bribe God to worship him, what do you think he will do with you?